في المكتب بتاع جهاز الأمن الوطني جناح داخل the headquarters of the ISB, and I bring to you greetings from the Director General of Internal Security Bureau, General Charles Church, and also the entire leadership of the Internal Security Bureau. This press release is on the alleged random and unlawful arrest and detention of individuals. The National Security Service has shockingly learned of its alleged random arrest and detention of individuals within Juba City in regards to the just unfolded military confrontations between the government forces and the military groups known as White Army, who are allied to the SPLA-IO. Undeniably, the National Security Service, Internal Security Bureau, has arrested and detained several individuals believed to have verified links to the spiraling military confrontation that has just unfolded within the towns of Nasir and Ulang and their surroundings. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the arrest ensued after the service operatives conducted extensive intelligence pursuit to appropriate information from any individual within or out of the country that had been fueling the ongoing battle in the mentioned areas that I previously said. The obtained intelligence report, ladies and gentlemen, included substantial evidences from all contributing sources, which all of you knows the National Security Service has got the capacity, both the intelligence and human intelligence, both technical and human intelligence, which were firstly subjected to thoroughly analysis and first checking until were deemed accurate, and thus amounted to arrest and detention of the individuals, which is, on the other hand, part and parcel of the National Security Service, all of you are aware, is to protect the Revitalized Agreement on the resolutions of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan, RRCs, signed in 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition, these arrests are not targeting in nature. We are not targeting any nature, either along regional or geographical, ethnic, or political connection. It has nothing to do with that. The move is piloted as a prerogative of the National Security Service as stipulated under Section 54 and 55 of the National Security Act 2014 as amended 2024 in order to effect Section 7. Precisely, subsection 2A and C, which stated that any activity related to espionage, sabotage, terrorism, or subversions of any such activity directed against or detrimentally to the interests of the Republic of South Sudan, and any act or threat or violence or harm that is directed or intended to achieve, bring about, or promote any constitutional, whether being political, industrial, social, or economic objectives, or change in South Sudan, including any conspiracies, incitement, or attempt to such threat. On that other hand, it is imperative to reiterate that South Sudan is a sovereign state. We are a sovereign state. Just like any other nation on earth that has vast right to hold any threat that undermines its national security. And thus, any mandated task by the National Security Service should not be termed as a random or unlawful by enemies of the state, but rather professionalism and unlawful demeanor of the institution should be considered. In this respect, ladies and gentlemen, we want to assure the public that the National Security Service, Internal Security Bureau, and other law enforcement agents are fully aware of these developments and thus are taking all necessary but critical action, including arrest, to address the situation, and most importantly, and it is best interest of the National Security Service to ensure that any act of abuse or powers and insubordination by any law enforcement officer is unacceptable, and individuals involved will be held accountable for their actions. The safety and the security of our nation and its citizens remains our top priority, and we will not hesitate to take any decisive action to ensure the stability of the Republic of South Sudan, peace, harmony, and tranquility. Therefore, the National Security Service urged the public to remain calm and trust in the authorities to handle the matter in accordance with the law. The service appreciates your continued support and cooperation as it works towards maintaining peace and security of the Republic of South Sudan. The National Security Act 2014, anybody that commits a crime or you sabotage the government or conspiracy against the state, you are liable to be arrested using Article 54 and 55 of the National Security Act, subsection 7, that can arrest anybody that commit a crime. But it's still premature for me to disclose for you the names because the investigation is still ongoing and then some of them will be taken to court so that the law will take its course. What is important is the arrest will still continue those who commit crimes against the state and those who conspire against the government, those who are connected to what is going on in where the incident took place. So the arrest will continue. There are a number of those who have been arrested, but soon we'll disclose after the investigation will be. We'll call you, of course. We'll call you in these premises. Laws are written in the Ministry of Justice, and they are passed in the Parliament. National Security Service don't write laws. The Parliament has already passed the laws. So what next? What is important is we are maintaining peace and security of the country. That's number one. And what is important is, I want you to note this very clear, that the spirit of implementing the RRCs, as said by the President, that he will not take this country back to war, we are keeping it. What is important for the National Security Service to do is to prevent, to curtail, and to detect the crime. But what happened in Nasir, I want you to note that very clear, that we are implementing the agreement, the RRCs. That spirit is still there. But the question of why is it that they were not rescued very fast, that's your question. Yes, that question you will have asked those who are concerned in the field, more especially those who shoot the Major General. That question you will have put to them. But we are implementing our asses in letter and spirit. There is no need for war. Our president said we will not take this country back to war. Anybody that threatens the security of this country will not be tolerated. Anybody that tolerated the national security of this country will not be tolerated. And I mentioned to you earlier that we will not stop arresting those who are violating our constitutions and those who are still hostile to the implementation of the RRCs. Nobody is above the law. The country is bigger than any individual, including the country is bigger than the RRCs. That is what is important. If you are found guilty, committing a crime, or sabotaging the government, or conspiracy against this state, nobody is above the law. I mentioned it very clear. Nobody is above the law. I may also ask you to go to the source of your information and inquire as where was he arrested and why he was arrested and why he was released. This is very important to inquire from the first hand person who was being apprehended as claimed that he was being arrested by the National Security Service. And even if the National Security Service has arrested you, we don't arrest without any substantial evidence that you commit against the state. So you consider that as a one-sided story.